There's one key thing you need to do to separate yourself and your health practice in 2023 and beyond. I'm Dr. Dan, and I'm a consultant and an advocate for natural health practices because the entire medical model was built upon a lie, and people need you more than ever right now. So I have one main thing I want to cover, and more importantly, get you to understand in 2023 and beyond.
To infinity and beyond!
It is very noisy out there when it comes to information and content and people and businesses and brands that your prospects are being exposed to. Think about your prospects. Think about where they're at. Think about what they're exposed to. Think about what they want. Think about their biggest pain points, right? These are all critical brand-based questions. But I want to cut to the chase. I want you to have a shortcut to be able to differentiate and position your offer, your expertise, your value, unlike anything else out there. And this one tactic will do it. It's not just a tactic, it is a strategy. So I want you to think about this. It has been said that 100 years ago, so in 1923, around that area of time, that the amount of information you were exposed to at that time period was the equivalent of being exposed to 10 minutes of information today. That's how much content that our prospects are getting, which means it's not a mystery why trust is at an all-time low. The brain, just for survival, must shut down most of the incoming information, or else it won't be able to thrive. It won't even be able to survive. Knowing this data, knowing this information, the question becomes then, how can I separate myself? Because I have something unique that people need to know. I have something valuable that will solve their problems. And I have something so worthy of their attention. But it begs the question, how do I get it in front of them? How do I get them to pay attention to me and not the others? Simon Sinek, best known for his popular TED Talk called The Golden Circle, essentially said that people don't buy what you do before they buy the why you do it. And he has all the data and all the research. He wrote a book called Start With Why that explains exactly how and why the brain pays attention to some messages and not others. Why did Apple build the biggest company known to man when it is well known their products aren't that much superior, if at all, to its competitors? It's because they started with why. Simon so eloquently talks about the fact that in business, it's not so critical that you do business with everybody who needs what you have. The best businesses do business with people who believe what they believe. And Apple was an example of this. And he just has gone through all the influencers over time, from Gandhi to MLK to you name it. And he showed that when they led with their why, they actually got more buy-in. How do you lead with your why? It's called your signature story. And it's as unique as your fingerprint. And it's as valuable as the greatest piece of technology you could ever put into your business, because it influences the human brain unlike anything else. Your signature story is how you position your offer to be unique and different than anything else out there. Your signature story will help position you as the only one that solves your prospect's problem, because they feel understood. They had been going to doctor after doctor after doctor. So you are just another one in the big list unless you differentiate. When you share your story and you share it with the right formula, they literally will pay you whatever price, travel whatever distance, because they know you're unlike anybody else. Every prospect that you interact with has an open loop in their brain. And that open loop is a motive loop. That means that they're seeking the motive as to why you do what you do. They are looking for little signs. Their brain is reading little signs, not your words, but your nonverbal cues that indicate why you do what you do. And left to their own devices, I'm going to tell you right now, you do not want the story in their brain to represent what you're really about. You do not want that motive to be the thing that closes the loop. But what your signature story does is it actually creates the real motive. In other words, you either are going to create the story that's real, that they should know, or they're gonna make one up about you. And the one they make up about you is gonna be about you and greed and money and success and your fame. And I know that's not the case, right? But how would they know? That's what their brain is wired to do. Close the loop, create the motive, make one up, because they're used to people selling stuff for the salesman's reasons, not for the prospect's reasons. This is where you have an opportunity to change it. So your real story is your real brand. And when you articulate it well, I'm gonna tell you right now, people will come out of the woodwork that want to see you, refer to you, have so much value for you because you used one story. Did you know that one story increases the value of your offer by 6,700%? And people remember it 20 times more than any form of facts, data, or logic that you could give to them. This is why I'm so bullish about the power of story, because I've seen it work in my own life. I've seen it work in my own businesses. I've seen it work in my own practices. And now I've seen client after client after client implement it, even though some don't necessarily know why, and they reluctantly do it. And then when they do it, they're like, wow, I never thought this would work the way it did. What I want you to know is that articulating your story with the right formula is the easiest way to scale your practice, to separate yourself, and to get people to pay you cash and follow through in today's new economy. You could have the greatest thing in the world, unique, novel, unlike anybody else, but if you can't convince enough people, it just don't matter. The reason why I've gone down this rabbit hole is because I know that what you have is so valuable. I know that what we have as chiropractors and natural health providers is so valuable. The people need it. They want it. They just don't know it's you that has it. And then when they get in front of you, it's more facts, data, and logic. So now they're comparing what you have to the medical model. It was a complete deceptive, fraudulent lie. And here you sit, known as alternative, which is a big load of you know what, but yet that's still what they're comparing it to. So your signature story separates you and gets you the level of trust that you deserve. I get fired up about this because you have a story that's worth telling, and when you tell it, people will follow you, they'll buy from you, they'll strongly commit to you and your recommendations, and they'll actually tell others. And that is what matters to me, because that's when people get healthy, that's when people get well, that's when people get truth, and that's when the world changes. We have some uncertain times right now, and you are a solution. If you need help with it, let me know. I'm fired up. Click the link, let's talk. In the meantime, use your signature story.